Hey everyone, it is me, Chip Franks, and here are your blessings for today, your blessing reminder. And in fact, just before I get started, I wanted to say I got an email today. It was pretty cool. And it was from someone who wanted to be added to our email list. And they said, hey, I don't think this is working on chipfranks.com, but I've heard about your emails and I wanted to join them. So I thought that was just really cool. So just in case, if you're listening to this and you don't get the emails, or if you would like to send other friends or other people to get these encouraging messages, hopefully the different things that we can be grateful for each day, you can have them go to blessingsreminder.com. And that will get them signed up for this, and they can actually start receiving these blessings in the email and be able to get this in written format, as well as doing this on YouTube or the podcast or other ways that you can find out about it. So with that said, let's go. Today, the first thing that I'm grateful for is the profound blessing, and that is kind people doing kind things. And now this time I'm thinking about specifically, there is a pastor of a church, and we were using the church for our school this year, and he's just been incredibly kind and very nice to us. And obviously, he doesn't have to be, and he is, and that's just really wonderful. And I think about that, and it's really the kind people doing kind things that just makes this world wonderful. And sometimes we don't think the world is a kind place or a nice place, but oftentimes we see what we're expecting to see. And I love that I get to see kind people doing kind things, and that is a very profound blessing. And in fact, I want you to think about, while you're listening to this, if you're watching this, think about someone who has done something kind for you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, if you can put it down in the comments and tell me about a kind experience, someone doing that. And I just want to tell you about one of mine. And actually, I wrote about this in Life Lessons from Dad. Happen to have it right here next to me in my book here. But the kindest thing someone has done for me was when I was in high school, and I was living with my single mom. We didn't have much money at the time, and we only had one car, my Jeep, between the two of us. And every morning before school, I would have to drive her to the next town over, deliver her to work, and then drive back to my school before school started, go to my day of school, and then after school, I would drive to her place of business where I also worked part-time, and I would work there until nighttime, whenever, and we'd both come home at night. And it was one car for the two of us. Unfortunately, my Jeep stopped working, and apparently the starter was out, and I didn't know what was out at the time. I just knew that it didn't work. And my mother had to start taking the bus to work, which required her to get up extra early and make a switch at a station and do all kinds of crazy things. And I literally couldn't go to work because there's no way I could get to work from school. So that was a bad situation for a little bit. But one Saturday morning, I hear a knock at the door, and it's my friend Daniel from school. And he says, hey, can we get the keys to your Jeep? And of course, I wanted to know what's going on. I gave them the keys to my Jeep. And it turns out that his father, the head of the mechanical engineering department at Texas A&M University at the time, his name is Skip Fletcher. As I understand, he's living in California and has an avocado farm now, which is pretty amazing in and of itself. But Skip decided that he would fix my Jeep, and he put a new starter in it, got it working that day, and refused to charge us any money for it, just to be a kind man. And I think about that even now as a 51-year-old man myself. I get a little choked up that someone would be so kind and go out of their way to help someone that they didn't really know that well. I knew Daniel, but I didn't know his dad that well. And it was just probably the kindest thing that someone has done for me, just not knowing me. And that's pretty amazing. So anyways, I wanted to tell you that story. And of course, that's the profound blessing, is kind people. But also, I would like you to think of someone doing something kind to you. And just thinking about that, feel how you feel, what happens in your body when you consider that and you think about that. And it's a pretty amazing, wonderful thing. So that is my profound blessing. Blessing number 2, the often taken for granted blessing. I'm grateful for sprinkler systems, and they just make it very easy to keep the grass green, for looking good. Just being able to turn a switch on and all of your grass is watered is pretty amazing. It's pretty cool. And I think about that in the old days, it just either wasn't watered or people would have to hook up those sprinklers to the garden hose and move it around and switch it off and go outside and turn it on. And we don't have to do that anymore, which is just pretty amazing. Thank you for that, whoever designed that and in our house put it in for us, which is amazing. The third blessing, which is the no good, very bad, horrible blessing, is the blazing sun here in Texas in mid to late August 2023. And it is very hot outside, and it's been over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I looked that up, and that is about 38 degrees Celsius. It's been over that pretty much every day for weeks on weeks here. So it is pretty hot, and it's tough to be outside during the middle of the day. So that is the no good, very bad thing. But the blessing in this, and there are so many, is that the mornings are still wonderful. The mornings are in the 70 degrees here. And the other 9 months of the year, when it's not blazing hot like this, it's generally pretty mild and it's pretty wonderful. And I think about now experiencing this heat, but getting 70-degree days during January in the winter is fantastic. And I can wear shorts pretty much all year long, which I love. And of course, the sun is also the source of all life here on earth. So I guess there's that too. And I'm pretty grateful for that as well. Blessing number 4 for today: builders who make wonderful inside spaces. And I'm thinking about this. Our school is going from about 3,000 square feet to 12,000 square feet this year. And I thought about the people who actually built that, who created the money to make that happen, the builders themselves who built it, the people who designed it, and the church that commissioned that. I'm just grateful for everyone who made that possible. And then looking around, I'm inside right now. I've gone inside to restaurants today, to stores, and all of those wonderful inside places somebody has built. And I'm just grateful for those people doing that. And it's a wonderful thing. And they did that for our benefit. And again, that is just such a blessing. And I love that. And the last one, blessing number 5 for today, are ideas being shared in books. And I thought about that as just so cool that someone has spent so much time curating and learning and amassing this information, and they are able to write it down in a book form, which is mass produced for so many other people. And we are able to take the words for this. Here's one of the books I'm reading now, or rereading, I should say, from Jay Abraham, one of the smartest marketers in the world. And he has taken that information, put it into words here that I can understand and I can read, and take those ideas and actually improve my life and help my business and help the people who are blessed by the business. And I just thought about that way of information getting out. It is such a blessing, and I love that. And in fact, something I sent out on my email, if you're not on the email, remember, get it at blessingsreminder.com. But I saw a quote. Actually, in this case, I heard it because I was listening to it on Audible, but I heard a quote from Dr. Wayne Dyer's autobiography called I Can See Clearly Now. And it's a quote from E.E. Cummings. And the quote is, "To be nobody but yourself in a world which is doing its best day and night to make you like everybody else means to fight the hardest battle which any human being can fight and never stop fighting." And I just heard that the other night. Resonated with me because I think the world does want to standardize people, and we aren't made to fit in. We're made and born to stand out. And that's everybody, to be their unique self and not just to conform to the ways of the world and be like everyone else. So that quote hit me. And again, that's a blessing that we receive that and other ideas from books. So that was the 5th and final blessing for today. I hope you're doing well. I hope this video, this podcast, wherever you're getting this, found you doing well today, because you deserve that. And I hope it left you a little bit better than you were before. So thank you very much. Have a great day. And again, if you or someone else wants to sign up to get these daily reminders of blessings sent to them, just go to blessingsreminder.com. Thanks a lot. You have a great day. God bless.